Hello, I'm Athredos, I'm a Lieutenant in 85E, and in this video I'll be explaining everything regarding the tech, and I will be giving tips after I'm done explaining the aspect. Anyway, here's a timestamp for your convenience if you want to replay an explanation. Let's begin. Of course, assuming you did your ACO Lusulda, you should know by now how to use the musket, but I will show you how it works. In our tech, just like any other deployment tech, there's bullet drop, meaning if your enemy is far away from you, you're gonna have to aim high so the bullet drops on them. Otherwise, if they're close, you just aim directly at them. Currently, if you want to know whether or not you hit someone, you press F9 or function F9, uncheck error and warning, and if it says local player hit and username of the enemy you hit, humanoid with a musket ball, then you hit. Otherwise, you missed, and you should aim higher or lower depending on your circumstance. At the end of your musket's barrel, there is a bayonet, which is what we use after we fire in a firing charge. This is the melee weapon of the game. Press X to use it. If you want to kill someone very fast, you spam up and down by moving your mouse slightly up or slightly down to kill them as soon as possible. You can also hold right click to block an attack or press Q to cancel an attack before you release the attack button. The musket is also used for weapon positions such as order arms and present arms and so on and so forth. All of these will be taught to you in your company's trainings. Now for the tips. For shooting, I personally recommend going into first person instead of shift lock in third person or free third person camera because in my experience it's simply just way more accurate and you should probably start getting the hang of it because the new tech will have you locked into first person when aiming. If you want your aim to be precise, I recommend make your camera sense in your settings to 0.36 or one more bit lower and make it 0.2, but again, it's up to your preference. You may notice that while you're presenting, there's a reticle. Keep in mind of the two bottom prongs of that reticle because you're going to use it way more than the top one. In most cases, you want to aim your bottom prongs on the shoulders. If it's extra far away and you didn't hit, get them on the shako or a bit above. If it's basically point blank, just get them on the arms and you're good to go. For melee, on the other hand, it all comes down to practice. Just keep attending events and battles and figure out your playstyle. You can either be defensive, passive-aggressive, or just full-on aggressive, which will take a bit of time to figure out what works best for you. I personally recommend using shift lock for this one so you can have a better field of view of your enemies doing melee and charges and so on and so forth. In our hub game called Last Triomphe, we have multiple different maps to fight on, but all of these maps have one thing in common, which is the battle system. The battle system consists of the name of the battle, how long it is, two teams with their amount of tickets, and the regiment system. If one team has more tickets than the other by the end of the battle, that team wins. But how do tickets work? No matter what you do in a battle, you are going to die. Dying makes your team lose tickets no matter what, but there is different circumstances on how you die. If you look at the bottom left of your screen, in any of our games, you will see an icon. That icon tells you what formation you're in, and depending on what formation you die in, you lose different amounts of tickets. Starting off with inline formation, only costing 1 point and you can respawn right back in, and then there's skirmish formation costing 2 points and having to wait for about 7 seconds. Then there's out of line formation which costs 7 whole points and you have to wait just like skirmish. Obviously dying in line is the best, but if you cannot achieve that, then at least be in skirmish. But never, ever, ever die out of line on purpose or else you'll be met with a firing squad and a kick.
A flag? What the hell is that gonna do?
The flag, in a nutshell, is basically your walk and spawn point in the field of battle, allowing you to go right back into the fight where you left off, instead of having to spawn at camp and walking all the way back into the field. I mentioned before, while explaining the battle system, the regiment system. That's where the flag comes from. A member of leadership puts a name for the unit and a decal ID for the flag itself, and it gets created. The member of leadership will assign everybody who needs to be able to spawn on that flag. If you aren't assigned to that regiment, you can't spawn on that regiment's flag. For the unit to be able to spawn on the flag bearer, the person who's holding the flag, needs to be in line formation, which can be achieved in one of two methods. The first one, being the most common, is the flag bearer going back and forth behind the unit's line, ensuring anybody can spawn in at any given time, while the flag dodges bullets coming at the line. The second method is having the flag behind a structure like trees, rocks, or buildings, and having two people next to the flag bearer. Keep in mind that if you are 100 meters near an enemy's flag, you cannot spawn in regardless if you're in line, which can be either good or bad depending on the following scenarios. The first scenario being you are winning the charge, hence pushing up restricts the enemy's flag from being able to spawn, and the second being you are losing the charge, hence having to pull back and get away from the flag to be able to respawn and countercharge. Now that is how the flag works, but how is it going to stay protected when charges? There's a unit called flag guards, specialized to specifically guard the flag while marching and especially while charging. In case the flag bearer dies, they're expected to pick it up immediately and continue the march. But just because you have flag guards doesn't mean you can completely forget about the flag. Because shit like this can happen. Even though it is rare, make sure that you pick up the flag if it is right in front of you, like there is nobody else going to pick it up, so the charge or the march keeps going without interruption. If you are chosen to be the flag bearer or happen to be a flag guard holding the flag, make sure to have situational awareness, especially during charges. Analyze the situation carefully. Use your common sense to go where the flag needs to be, but always, and no matter what, even if it seems suicidal, follow your commander's orders, because he has a vision that you will not see. And that should be the end of the video. If you found this video helpful, do let me know either in my DMs on Discord or by a comment. Anyhow, if you are a random who somehow came across this and you're into our community, come join us at the vanity link discord.gg/onprayer. Goodbye and have a good morning, evening, afternoon, or night.